Okay, so I have my little piggy nose on there. And I'm going to do the face on my giraffe, which could also be a horse if it were a shorter neck, or a zebra, or camel if you put a little hump on his back. Alright, so I need 3 balls of clay. Notice I have a little ouchie on my finger, so I'm not getting that pinky dirty with clay. Oh, that eyeball's a little too big. And then my 3rd ball of clay for my eyelids, which I'm going to make a little bit bigger. It's your choice if you want to make that one a little bit bigger. Squeeze it with my fingers here, twisting it with this hand. So I'm twisting and squeezing. And this is way thinner than my pinky, but it's going to be attached on here, so it's okay. Alright, so I score the eyeballs. And I'm going to go ahead and score behind where I'm going to put the eyelids. So that's ready to go. And then put a little slip on there. And I'm going to go ahead and put the slip on the back for the eyelids. Cut to my eyelid in half. And then I'm going to kind of press that down a little bit so that I smooth that edge out. And attach my eyeballs. And attach my eyelids. And I'm going to smooth that one in a little bit on the back. And I feel like I need a little bit more slip. The slip didn't quite get all the way across there. So slip that on. Smooth that in a little bit. And I'm not going to smooth it between the eyeball and the eyelid. Okay, so there's my eyes. And my eyeballs. Press the iris in. And then he needs a little triangle for his nose. So I'm going to make a ball of clay and then I'm going to squeeze it flat, and then make a triangle with 3 fingers. And then score it. This might be a little too big for his nose. Let's see. Put some slip on there. And then, that's kind of a big nose, but it's okay. Alright, and now he has his nose. He's got like a Rudolph nose, kind of big. Maybe I'll paint that white, make him Rudolph the red-nosed giraffe. Alright, and here's my face. So now I'm going to put on my ears, and make 2 balls of clay. Alright, so after you get the face on, start with the legs, then the head, and the neck, if you got a neck. And then you start putting on your details. So that's the smaller things. You want to work larger to smaller. So I have 2 balls of clay the same size. I'm going to make my 2 ears. My giraffe is going to have little ears. And then my giraffe also is going to have little tusks coming out of his head. So I'm going to make my ears, and then I'm going to make 2 balls of clay for the tusks coming tusks, antlers. I guess they're more like antlers. That one's a little bit bigger. I'm going to roll that out flat. That doesn't look right. Something's wrong. Oh, I know what it is. They have like this little ball on the end. So I'm going to squeeze it with my left hand and then squish it down a little bit with my right hand so it's a little bit taller or a little bit thicker on the end. And here's where a picture of a giraffe would come in really handy, because I'm pretty sure, well, let me think. I'm not sure if the ears go on the side or if the horns go on the side. Let's try it. Alright, score it and slip it. I'm going to put, let's see, what do I want to do there? Try it both ways and see what looks right. I think the ears go on top and the horns are on the side. I'm going to slip it. Slip it good. Da 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 da. And then score each little piece. It's very small, but you need to make sure you score, especially when your clay is leather hard. If you're adding leather hard clay, or if you're adding plastic clay to leather hard clay, you have to really make sure you do that well. I'm going to put the little ears on this. No, wait, did I decide? No, ears on the top, and little horns on the side. All right, this isn't looking right. I think for my giraffe. Okay, he looks like an alien now. Something's not quite right there. For this one, I would get a picture before I finalize that. Make sure I've got that correct. Okay, got my faces on, got my ears on now, my little tail for my giraffe. A giraffe has a short tail. I'm going to show you a couple of different tails for this one. Alright, so giraffe has a short tail. Did I aerate my giraffe? I did not aerate my giraffe. Make sure I got a hole in there. And then I'm going to attach the giraffe's tail on the side like that. So I'm going to score it, slip it, and smooth it on there, and then I'm going to bring it to the side, put a little slip on the side. And this is actually wide enough that I probably don't have to put that on. So I think I am going to leave him like that. I'm going to let his little tail go to the side. Okay, and another detail for my giraffe would be giraffes have spots. So I would put on a giraffe pattern by carving it out. Now, if I were going to make this a horse, then the horse's tail is thick. So I would take my clay and make it into a long, skinny carrot shape, carrot form. Make sure it's flat on one end. And then I would attach the tail, put it at an angle there so it attaches, and then I would score and slip on my tail like that. Okay. Now for a mane, I'm going to take my clay and roll it out flat into a, well, not flat, I'm going to roll it into a coil, and then I'm going to flatten it out, and I would do this, well, make sure that it doesn't stick to your table. And then my giraffe's going to have a little bit of a mane too. A giraffe, a zebra, and a horse would have a mane. So I'm going to score it, score down his neck, and then slip it good. And then attach my mane. I think the mane should come up a little bit higher, like that. And then take this tool and smooth it in a little bit for Rudolph, my red-nosed giraffe. And you know what, I probably ought to check on that one too, because now that I've got that on, I don't know that he would have a mane, but I'm giving him a mane anyway. Alright, my piggy, he needs some detail here. He has hooves. Some of my pigs I've been giving claws, but they don't really have claws now I think of it. They have hooves. So I'm going to just put a little mark there and squeeze that down. So he's got a hoof. And then he needs some ears. I'm going to give him little piggy ears. Make two balls of clay the same size. Make my little triangle. Squirt and slip it. And put on his little ears. Notice I didn't make them really, really skinny because I want to make sure that those ears don't fall off. So here's my little piggy face. And what pig is complete without a tail? So I'm going to roll out a coil. And and that's way too long, of course, for a piggy tail. I'm going to make it a little bit fatter at the tip because I need for it to be secure on there. Now, if you're making small things like this and it starts to crack, you need to add a little bit of slip into it. And I'm going to bring his tail around so it kind of curls a little bit. Pigs have curly tails. And then slip it. And then attach my little curly tail. This is pretty small there at the tip, so I wouldn't get it any smaller than that. Okay. Piggy, Piggy, my elephant, he needs a tail. So he's going to have a little tail. I am going to put his down. And make it skinny at the tip, fat like a carrot shape. Score it and slip it. Slip it good. And then I'm going to blend it in at the top, but I'm just going to press it down at the bottom. And then for his toes, pencil works really good for this. I'm going to use a pen. I'm going to press down to give him that toe. So he's got toes. And then I would do that to all 4 feet. My penguin. My penguin needs wings. He also needs a little bit of detail on his belly. So I'm going to take a ball of clay, cut it in half, get my 2 pieces the same size. Then I'm going to make 2 teardrop shapes. Press those out. I'm going to make both of my wings before I put anything on because I want to make sure that if they're not the same size, I can fix that before I attach it. Way easier to do before you attach it. And are those about the same? They're about the same size. Okay, now the wings are going to go on like this, sideways. So I'm going to score the side of my penguin body. I've got him aerated. Very important that I have him aerated. Score it. Slip it. I'm going to attach that one before I slip. Score the back of this wing and attach it on. And I'm not going to blend that part in. I'm going to leave it so that there's a distinct mark between the body and the wing. I'm going to come to this side, score and slip. Attach this wing. Kind of look from the front. Oh, he looks so angry. I don't think he likes me touching him like this. Alright. And there is the basic form of my animals. So now I need for it to get a little bit leather hard so I can use this tool to carve in details. Alright, let's come back here. I made another dog. This could be a cat or a dog. And in the cat family, of course, would be a panther. So I'm going to make his head solid. It's not going to be too terribly big. Maybe a little bit smaller than that. I'm going to make a ball, and then I'm going to make it into a big fat raindrop shape. And I think my cat dog here needs a neck. So I'm going to round out a cylinder by pressing at the top and the bottom, turning with my left hand. Yeah, I think he needs a neck. So I'm going to score it. And slip it. I'm going to smooth in my neck because they definitely have a smooth connection between their neck and the body. So now he's got a neck, so now I'm going to score it. Score this. Slip it. Put that on and smooth that into the head. This tool works really well for that. Okay. And now if I wanted a cat, this snout would be shorter if I want a cat. So I would just press in so that the snout was shorter for a cat. For a dog, it could be a little bit longer. So now I'm going to make my eyeballs. This clay is very, very plastic, so remember, if it's really plastic, just squish it in your hands, play with it a little bit, roll it around, so that some of that moisture gets out of there so it's a little bit easier to work with. That's a really big eyeball. Smaller. 2 eyes, eyelids, and then cut my eyelids in half. Make sure this tool is cleaned off. Cut that in half. Score my eyes. And then put the slip on for the eyelids. Squirt and slip it. Whoops. See, it's so plastic, it just stuck together. I tend to make my dogs sad. I don't know why. And then I need this tool for my irises. Now, something you can do to your mammals, dogs, cats, is this. I'm going to make a little small triangle for the nose, and then I'm going to show you how to make a little bit more detail in the mouth. So I'm going to score and slip it on. I slip on, score that, put on the little nose. Okay, now this blue tool has so many awesome uses. Actually, that end's clean. So now I'm going to make the mouth by bringing this in, pressing that down. That gives him a lot more character. I just make 2 little curved lines for the mouth. Now I want you to experiment with the ears. If it's a cat, it's going to have short little triangle ears. If it's a dog, then it could have long ears, short ears, any kind of ears you want. You could exaggerate those ears and make those ears really big if you want. I'm going to make droopy big ears for my dog. Okay, got them about the same size, so that one's a little bit more pointy at the end. And then score and slip on my ears here. And I'm going to smooth it in at the top. Oh, that's cute. Sometimes you don't know what it's going to look like until you put them on. So this one, okay, that couldn't have been more perfect. And my dog, he looks like he's really surprised with those ears up. Now, that's a little bit risky in that position, but it's way cute, and I'm going to leave it. Okay. Then after it gets leather hard, I'm going to show you some more details.